Okay, I'd like to call this regular meeting to order for 07. Okay. Is there a motion to accept the agenda? I make such motion. Okay. Which is the agenda on this one. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from November 16th, 2022? We're on our regular meeting now.
Yeah. Nice to see everyone.
Okay. Any questions?
Our meeting next week, but the latest I heard from the Friends was that they donated $22,000 to the library for their fundraising this year. They're working on the author lineup for Fridays at 5 this summer. There is a new president, Sabrina Allen, new treasurer, Peter Chagru, and they've gotten some new members. They will be meeting next week. They flip-flopped dates of it, so.
Sabrina Allen?
Allen, A-L-L.
Yeah. Very good. Few numbers are there. The scholarship is standing at $100. It's just correspondence.
That's all there, including our survey.
And the amendment.
The amendment is just a new New York labor law talking about staff absences.
Very good. Review the report.
I'll just say a few highlights from the direct report because there's a lot there. Our holiday open house, just huge kudos to the staff because we had a wonderful day, even though it was pouring rain. We had people coming in and it was really collaborative with the community. So Mahoney's had donated the tree, the Lions Club supplied a fantastic Santa. It was delightful. The Hampton band ran a sing-along. Starbucks donated hot chocolate, and we had some wonderful treats from South Fork Bakery, and the staff really stepped up and did a wonderful job decorating, and there were stories read, the children's librarian read stories, and the children were spellbound by the children's librarian stories. I mean, there was not a peep. It was really wonderful. And also for the staff, we had 5 days of holiday cheer. So instead of doing one big party, every day we had something special for the staff in the staff room. That went really well. And we also included a full staff meeting in that. Also, for staff, we're having an upcoming with actually, I'll just introduce our audience member right now, but it's Kevin Rubisi, who is director of Suffolk Public Library System. And so our new supervisors will be attending the upcoming supervising training class in February. Technology, we do now have a Cassie demo for our printing. Yep, we're in demo stage, and we also have a new all data database, which is in library use only, but it is automotive repair. I'm interested. Yes. And we have applied for cyber security insurance from date where it's not. We're waiting to hear on that. A lot of things happening in buildings and grounds. I'll let you read through, but and we also applied for the D&O insurance for the board and friends. Whole list of meetings. I've been doing a lot of meetings with the fundraising consultants, and we'll get into more of that later. Our programs, the link is out, so take a copy and look at all the wonderful programs we have going on. We are having regular art openings in the gallery now, and I'm very excited about the end of January. We're going to have Michael Butler, who's a wonderful artist in Sag Harbor, and he does beautiful work. So we'll have an opening, I believe, on the 28th for that. Book Angels was expanded to pre-K through grade 12 for our Book Angels donations, where every student in the district received a wrapped book. And I started a reporter consort, music in the library, and we're all coming to play our Baroque reporters. That's the kind of nerd I am. And outreach, I attended the Bridgehampton EMS Captain's Breakfast, the Playground Schoolcraft Fair, and I was just recently a guest on Dan's Papers podcast. Yeah, I believe it's coming out tomorrow, which is actually a lot of fun. But that's very good. Thank you.
Any other particular on the reports?
I just got a question.
Yes.
Need to know insurance?
Oh, DNO's directors and officers,
Okay.
because you could be sued.
Right.
So we need that insurance.
Sure, it's okay.
Did you want to go over any other?
No, I just, read through the children's, these are 2 months worth of reports because we didn't meet in December, so it's a lot of reading, and some of the stats we'll have to update in the next meeting because we're meeting a week early, so everything hadn't come through yet, but
Very good.
they do a wonderful job with their reports, so I hope that you do look at them.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the reports?
Accept.
November 1st through December 30th. Very good. Second? Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Unfinished business. The renovation process is continuing to unfold. The bond to finance renovation.
That was something that Cheryl Titus had brought up as a possibility. I don't know if we want to talk about that.
I think we did talk about it. I was at a library conference. I spent some time talking to folks from New York State. I think Suffolk County has something as well. So there's a lot of places you can go. I think the sweet spot of doing it is around $4 million, so more than we necessarily need. But I just thought as we were going through the process, it may be one way to finance the project. What would be the advantage of doing it? Well, we could, there's a lot of creative finance ideas I had too, but effectively you could put less pressure on the board and more on the taxpayers to finance it, and it would be from a relative amount, because we're $4 million spread across the real estate tax this year. It's gonna be like a handful of dollars per person. So it's not gonna be something I think that would be controversial. Like nobody wants their taxes raised. Of course, I think they just went up on the tax, maybe $75. Yeah, I think that's somewhere. Just about. Yeah, but I think just some of the homes here obviously are. Oh, yeah, I know. That the average person who's sort of concerned about taxes is gonna have such a small increase, whereas. No, it's gonna be.
What other advantages would be for us, though? I'm thinking in terms of our new fundraising and then the question of the account where we would off that money as we're raising it, which would go, be connected at the financial guys too. But as we raise it, I'm optimistic that we could raise quite a bit of money. We're gonna have to go at a pace. We don't want the library to go with debt, and we don't want to alienate taxpayers. But what we want to do, we're gonna have to stage this renovation and the money coming in as with the fundraising. So it's gonna take a little time to be phased in, because materials are going up and availability is going down. Yeah, so it's gonna be a staged renovation anyway.
So to be clear, this would be, the library would be going into debt.
I
Raise.
I don't think it's a good idea at this moment with the economy. I would say we should run off of what we raise as a fundraising thing and not do a debt-based thing, because as the economy goes now, we have an up and a down, and we could have a big crash. Things are at that point where it could crash, and we could be left holding the debt, where it's better to keep it in black, I don't know where that base comes.
Does somebody know how many taxpayers are in Hampton? 1,600?
No,
Yeah, I was wondering that, but I don't have that in front of me right now.
I think that if it's dependent, if it's signed into the tax revenue, the risk is mitigated. So,
Possibly, but if we're still gonna do a debt base for the library, you want to do debt or something, I don't think it's a good idea right now. I think we can handle this without going into debt.
I think we should also table it till we figure out the.
Yes, I
consultants
agree
and-
with Mr. Louise. I think we should table this now.
Okay.
You know, we get a little further into.
Where we are.
We're into where we are, I agree.
Clear aside before we're going. Okay, very good. The retention credits, do we need to?
I don't think so, it's still in process, it's still.
Okay, very good. Did you want to say anything about that?
Right, so fundraising consultants, at the November meeting, we decided to cast a wider net, which I have done. So far, we've looked at 8 consultants and requested and received 3 proposals. I would like to talk about that if we have time in an executive session though, because I've done a lot of reference calls and I've gotten a lot of information on these particular ones. We'll talk about it here.
Okay. New business, we're looking at appointing Maryland Hampton as advisory board. Also removing geothermal wells and replanting a tree in front of the library. And a date for Olivia's farewell.
oh, yeah.
So, is there any major discussion on the financial advisor? Yeah, hearing what he had to say today, I thought he presented very, very
Sweet.
short, sweet, and clear. Yeah,
I have a positive on that.
Mhm.
okay.
Does he seem trustworthy?
I know where to find him.
She's got his number. Okay, we did,
It's a
send
very
out an
simple-
email about, a dinner for Olivia, and that kind of came back next. We looking at February?
Right, well, because it just, January, the calendar just got booked, so we're looking at potentially a Tuesday night in February. Is there a date that we could all agree on?
The 14th.
That's sweet.
That's good. It is the second Tuesday.
When are you back on break?
I'm in and out of the whole month.
We could do March as well, sorry, but we could do March. Harvey's was in March.
Now that you're
I
here.
There's also the Wednesday, the 15th is our board meeting.
Mhm.
There's also a possibility of doing it after the board meeting, because in theory,
I don't think she can,
she can't do that.
I don't think so, I think Tuesday's best for her, or Monday.
Which is too bad it's the Valentine's Day, because that probably everyone probably would be in town for that.
Yeah.
I'm okay for that.
Getting information anywhere.
That's true.
If everybody has to, she do.
Okay, what about the 21st then?
February 21st, is that the holiday weekend?
I think so.
President's Monday.
The spring break, March.
22nd.
How about we look into March?
Jump right into that, okay. Fourth Tuesday is the 28th. Last day of the month.
Feb 28th?
Or March 28th.
Is there back?
February 28th.
February 28th would work.
Are you back?
It's the only.
I want to work.
So why don't we tentatively say the 28th?
Well, 28th, I think.
All right.
Yeah, that's in between any breaks that might be occurring.
Okay.
So good.
All right.
Okay.
So let's not look at that. Okay.
council at the fire department, second.
Where, the geothermal well is
Tuesday.
In front.
In front, and there's a whole bunch of.
Do you have to remove it?
No,
I know.
St. Paul's.
I have to say.
It's very deep.
but maybe we could fit a tree in there somewhere.
Oh, the
fir
tree.
Well, the geothermal, are you gonna ignore, or are you gonna just put something on top or on the side?
John had a thought about it.
Okay, there's several thoughts on it, because it's a big item of discussion for Chan. One, environmental. Could we get state funding to remove the garbage they put in the ground? And if not, we should look at what we can do to move the tree back or to do something else that's large to. We could just move it over a little. I'm not sure, because I haven't seen the plans, how extensive the disaster in the ground is. But if it could be removed, maybe with state funding or some sort of, because they're doing that now with septic systems. There's huge paybacks from the town of like 50 grand, 30 grand credits. So maybe we could clean up that and then see about moving the trees back, replanting or getting another.
I think it's very dirty though.
I don't know if it's dirty, how big it is. I don't think it's really dirty, but I'm using that as in
I mean, the septic tanks are a big issue because of.
a big issue
Yeah.
because of.
But I don't think the
that's
geothermal well is.
No,
because
I'm
it's-
just using that as a method to maybe offset the problem, but probably, do you know how big an area they took up?
No, it's before my time.
Yeah, okay, it's,
I know it's not as deep as it's supposed to be, and it was supposed to be 100
Yeah.
and something.
and the filtration
Something.
system
No,
was,
it goes,
Wow.
I mean.
Yeah.
And I know not a lot about geothermal wells, except I was on the board when it fell, and there was some discrepancy about how deep it was and how deep it was supposed to be, and was that really the
and
issue?
the filters too, they cut corners on the
Well,
filtration
it's,
system.
I think it's, like 88 feet down instead of like 100 and
Mhm.
something.
It was open instead of closed.
Yeah,
An open loop instead of a closed loop,
Yeah,
so.
so then it gets more of the groundwater.
Right.
So it's more what's in our environment that fouled the well.
Well,
than-
oh yeah, the iron. Maybe we can look where it is on the plans and then move the tree over so that we have the big tree again, if it's not right where it is. If it's not gonna be economically feasible to remove it, maybe we can put it in a different spot, which would be a huge, huge thing for the community. Cause I don't know how much you guys hear about it, but I hear it every year. And it's sort of a symbol for people of what happened to the library as it slid off the edge. Cause I hear it from a lot of the local people. You're on the board, it was, so if we could look into the cost of moving it back, or look at plans for where they put the well. And then let's work from there and figure it out. Get the numbers down, let's go look at the tree over there, see its physical condition. And then see, the ground and where we can put everything. I think that would be our first step. And then we'll.
Mahoney could probably tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The first thing, is, do we have a consultant engineer or someone who could give us some professional advice?
I'll
I mean,
stick to professional advice. We're gonna get caught in more money and red tape. I think we should do it the old fashioned way, figure it out, look at the plans ourselves. Not, hire another firm to do it and do all this. Let's see what the
Well,
plans
we
are.
looked at all of that before we did the whole HVAC system, we looked at all the well stuff, we
Right.
tried to fix it, so we have all that.
We have all the stuff, so let's look at it and just see what we
So
can
why do
do.
we need to remove it? Is there any?
We don't
We don't.
necessarily need to remove it.
I think removing it would probably be
Big,
humongous.
humongous price, that's why.
But I think we should have Mahoney look at what it is.
Tree,
and
yeah,
if not that tree, because that tree now is on the historical society property that we no longer own, so we don't really own the tree, but we could get a similar
we could
tree
get a
or
single tree or a large tree,
a large tree.
not a little one, but a large one.
Big.
Somewhere, a big tree, because they have the ability to plant them.
The tree's currently on the.
Martyrs.
Martyrs.
What if we just like plant a tree?
And I don't know what.
Yes,
I don't know what the deal was made with the tree,
first
why
thing.
it got moved over there.
I
I wasn't on the
brown
board
shit,
back then,
nurturing worm.
because, of course, if I was on the board back then, I would have shaken their trees about the restrictions on everything.
Where's the thing?
Okay,
All right.
so.
All right.
Yes, but.
Work on it.
We'll just work on it, and I'll be glad to, you know,
Great.
forward is always positive.
Yes.
When I was I didn't know, we had it.
That's here.
We had it go over the road, okay, or over the markers, over the.
Okay.
Okay.
Marty's
I'm
on the
ready to
tree.
go on
The
first.
little park, the old building.
Okay, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, so probably was the other one back then.
It's later in the. Very end. That's simple, just, you know, we have one later.
It's doable, but you don't want to kill that tree in the process. No, it has to be looked into, but it will be a big thing for the community.
Okay,
Which we want, yeah.
very good. All right, so, are we ready to move into a personnel report?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, before we do that, may I ask a question for the next agenda?
Yes,
So, when Tawera was at Hayground, she interned at the library and she wants to work at the library this summer. And is it because I'm on the board that she's not allowed to work? So that's a question that I'm not quite sure if I was clear about.
Is there a way to turn her up?
We'll find that out in our trustee workshop. About family members.
And Moxie, can you
library.
repeat the question? In a few seconds?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, I was saying Tawera interned at the library and absolutely loved it and would love to get a job this summer working there. Now, I'm not quite sure if the law is that if I'm on the board,
Is that water?
she cannot work there, or I know that she cannot apply for a scholarship, which makes sense, but I wasn't sure about working. So that was my question. We can put this on the agenda for next time, Nataraj.
We'll find out tonight, probably.
yeah, we have with our trustee guru.
I can see a conflict there, but.
Okay, very good. So, are you ready to trip into that?
Yeah, so. We go into an executive session?
Then we stop recording?
Yes.
Yes,
Is
we
that
have
what
to
we do?
just stop recording.
That's going to be.
Have to go into.
So we need a motion and second.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can pause.
Wait a second.
All right, very good. Well done.
So we have
So,
financials and then, do operations.
can we do financials on the consent agenda, items A, B, and C?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Second,
A second.
okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, no, not yet, all in favor? Aye. Those opposed, okay, good, operational resolution. Resolve that we appoint Merrill Lynch firm in Southampton to manage the trustee fund and to act as the financial advisor pursuant to the stated investment policy. Motion, yes?
Yes.
Motion. Okay. Eric and John? Okay, good,
Then we'll do a motion to retain Ricolo.
yes.
I'll make that,
I'll second that.
make a motion to retain Ricolo Associates for the feasibility study. And. As. Contract. But. You have the contract, right?
We have it, so we just have to
Yeah.
sign it.
As written.
I'll second that.
Okay, very good, all those in favor? Aye. All right. Are you adjourning?
Sure. You know, I've not been in motions in so many years.
Okay.
I'll make a motion
Well,
to
wait a
adjourn at
second,
five.
wait,
Oh.
wait. Did we have another?
No,
That was it.
Somebody comes in, okay, all right. Okay, very good. Yeah, you can vote on the Maryland.
Right, I didn't hear.
yeah, yes, that was,
We had motion and second.
Motion.
I think we voted on that. Yeah.
can we make a vote on that?
Aye. All those in favor?
Except
You should write the.
I'm-
Abstain.
abstaining or whatever.
Because you might be able to buy dinner with you.
Oh.
Who seconded? Oh, we didn't adjourn.
You didn't know. You took that back.
She didn't make a motion. Okay. All right, so, all right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:11.
I'll second.
Okay. Right, you get to go on our next, Zoom call now?
Next.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, and then we'll come back. In the meantime, take a very, very short break. Well, I have some food for us. We will then.
Oh, wow.